What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Excuse me. It looks like we are here live. I've got, looks like I've got everything okay here on the live stream. Actually, before I do anything else, let me just kind of switch that up a little bit. Yep, it looks like the audio is working there. Um, I know last time we live streamed from my house, for some reason the audio cut off the last couple minutes of the stream. So hoping that that doesn't happen today. But yeah, so it looks like we are here. It looks like we are live, and that is a good thing. I don't know where to put my phone. I'm going to put it right there. I try to look at the chat on my phone because I've realized I look like this a lot at my computer. And I'm going to try not to do that as much. Although I say that, I'm actually going to try a couple different camera actions today. So I will actually be looking this way quite a bit just to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. But thank you guys for being here. I am Paul, half of Dads and Dice. And as you can tell, I am solo today. And that's because Devin has been manning the fort for the last couple weeks. And there's actually a small convention relatively close to town. And Devin is there tonight. And I will be joining him tomorrow. So instead of us being together tonight, we just decided, I told him, you know what, I'll do the live stream tonight. And then we'll go play some games tomorrow. Hopefully there's actually like a bazaar, a VFW, a virtual flea market. So we've got a bunch of games that we're going to be culling as well. Hopefully selling some games, hopefully playing a lot of games, and just having a good time tomorrow. So we will miss you guys. Well, we appreciate it. We wish that you would come down, Joe, but that's okay. We know that it's a long drive for you. Let me see something real quick. There we go. Cool. So yeah, anyway, let's get into our gameplay here. Today we're going to be playing Circadians First Light, and surprise, surprise, this is another Garphill game. Devin and I probably should have coordinated a little bit better and not done two back-to-back Garphill games on the same week. But with that being said, they're our favorite publisher, so we're just going to keep on standing their games and keep on playing their games. And yeah, so not really sorry about the game choice because this is actually a great game. So let's switch on over here and we will get into Circadians First Light, actually the second edition of the game. So this is it's a dice worker placement game, and there is eight-ish different actions that you can do in the game, and they all depend on what you are rolling with your dice. So the cool thing about this is it's not necessarily better to roll higher numbers. It's really just kind of depends on what you're going to want to do. So the pip value isn't as important. You can kind of make things work. So that's really nice about it. Now, how the AI plays is they're going to be going first every turn. And they're going to be drawing scheme cards out here. And with these scheme cards, they're going to be placing out their dice. I'll explain these spaces in a little bit. But generally they're going to be blocking what I'm going to be doing. Now, in this game, you have to pre-program your dice ahead of time. So if the action that you wanted is blocked, well, unfortunately, you're still going to have to use that dice on something, right? So let's say I had my 3 here because I wanted to go to the control room, and the AI put the 3 there because they wanted to go to the control room. Well, now, unfortunately, I can't go there because they've already taken that spot. So, let's see. So for this game, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be collecting just different types of resources. So we have our water resource, we have our energy resource, and then we have our algae resource. Here at the laboratory, we can come out and place 2 dice that are the same pip value, and we can get a new farm. So our farms are down here, and those are just going to generate us more resources throughout the rounds. And there's a bunch of different ways that those kind of work. I'll explain them as we get to them, but they can generate more dice. You know what? Let's do this. Let's try this. Trying new camera zooms. I don't know if you can see that better. But like this first one will generate you 3 new waters at the end of every round. Here you can do some trades, and here if you place a 6, you will get 2 more dice into your pool. The most dice that you can ever have at a time are 5 dice. We have our foundry here, and this is our garages is what they're called. So these garages will go here, and they will give these dice extra benefits. So for example, this first one here can add 2 to your pip strength. This one here will take 5 water away for your cost. So let's say I had this one here and I wanted to send this dice to the control room. Instead of it being 10, it would actually only be 5 because this discounts it by 5. And this garage here gives me a plus or minus 1 strength. So those just kind of do different things with your dice. Right here we have the market, and the market just allows trades in different kind of ways. So 4 algae to 1 gem, 4 algae to 2 energy, so on and so forth. That space is pretty easy. Let's see. We have the control room. I'll come back to that one in a second. We have the academy, which if you have a 1, 2, or 3, you can pay water as a resource to get more dice. If you have a 4 or a 5, you can pay algae to get more dice. Let me change the camera view here. So here you can see to get 1 dice, it's 2 algae. To get 2 dice, it's 6 algae. And then if you have a 6, it costs you energy to gain those dice. Move that up just a little bit. There we go. Hey, Ken, this looks confusing. I promise you it's really not that confusing. It's a pretty straightforward game, and hopefully the gameplay kind of lets you see that a little bit. It is a pretty straightforward game. There is a lot of planning that will go into it, but the actions are very simple. And then finally, this one right here is the mining camp, which allows you to spend a number of gems minus your dice value in water. So let's say I placed a 6 here. This is 16 minus 6 is 10, so I'd have to pay 10 waters. You know, if I had this 5 and I put it here, so that's 6 minus 5, so that would be 1 water. And that's just a way to get gems as a resource. Going back to the control room, we have this harvesting board right up here. And this control room lets you move your harvester in a direction that's decided by the pip value. So if you have a 1, your harvester is going to move in the northeast direction. So it's going to go diagonally right here. If you had a 5, it's going to go towards the west, right? So that just decides the direction of your pip. Of course, if you run over any of the resources that are out there, you will pick up those resources as you go over them. And you're only moving 1 at a time. Then we have these 2 other boards. We have the depository up here. Let me go back to the depository. And at the depository, you can do a couple things. So this is where you go to fulfill contracts. You will start the game with 3 contracts. We'll draft those here in a second. And so what you'll do is you will place one of your die in one of these spaces, deciding which benefit you want. So if I want to move my harvester, I could put this 4 here. If I want an extra die, I could go there. If I want 2 more contract cards, I could go there, and then I would get those things to my hand. You have this little section right here, which is headquarters. And I'll explain that a little bit more, but basically you can come to headquarters to get either 2 contracts or 5 water. There is another benefit to that, but we'll get into it a little bit later. And then finally you have the negotiations board over here. And so the depository, the one that we just looked at, and the negotiations board, this is where most end game points are going to be coming from. So whenever you go to the negotiation board, you'll be trading in resources for victory points is basically how that works. So you can put any pip value as long as you have that amount of resource. So if I want to negotiate with the Lyrian, and let's say I have 6 algae, I could pay my 6 algae, put a dice here, and I get 3 victory points at the end of the game. If I have 10 energy, I can negotiate with Zakaro, and I would get 11 victory points at the end. Same thing for Drayek, except theirs are with gems. And they have actions that you get to use once you have completed a negotiation with them. Now, the cool thing about the negotiation board is you get these advancements and something bad. I forget what they call it, but it's a bad thing that happens. So if you're the first person to put out a 1, you can take this little token and then you can get something good from it, some benefit. So if I were to go here, that lets me harvest the space that I'm on. If I go here, I can get a farm into my player board. Here I can get a garage. Here I can move my harvester. Here I can gain a dice. Here I can gain a gem. And then underneath is you're losing those things. And in order to lose things, it's generally based on the value of all the dice in that column. So let's say here I have a 4 out there, and then the next one that goes out there is a 5. Well, that's a strength of 9. I have more than 8, so that is going to be something bad, and I get to choose the bad thing that happens to me. And that is pretty much all the spaces. And so at the end of the round, you're going to get all of your dice back, except for the ones in the depository and in negotiations. Also, if you place a dice here, you do not get that back, but you do get to go first in the following round. Like I mentioned at the very beginning, the AI is always going to go first unless I have a dice here. Then I will go first. Let's see. And I think that's it. That is the basics of the game. Hey, Pat. Let's see. What am I looking at? This is Circadians First Light. This is another Garphill game. It is a dice worker placement game. Honestly, it's pretty simple. And you guys will kind of see the game flow as I go through it. The thing in the middle. So this is the harvest board. This is how I'll be gathering resources. Now, I am going to be playing with a variant. Also, I don't know if you can see it. I do have the expansion up here. It is Circadians First Light Specialist. It adds a couple of things. I did not learn the rules before today. I was going to play with it. I didn't learn the rules. So this is just the base game. I am playing with a variant, though. And this variant is the Dyad Alliance, which lets me get 2 leader cards, and I'll explain what the leader cards do in a little bit, but it also means that I start off with less resources. So normally you would start off with 15 waters, I'm only starting with 10, and normally you would start with 4 algae, I'm only starting with 2. Let's see. Garphill games are good, X-Packs are my favorite thing. Yes. I agree. They are amazing games. So first thing that we're going to do here is we are going to draft. We're going to pick 2 of the leader cards. And these leaders are your kind of asymmetric player abilities. So in the normal variant where you're playing with other people, it is a draft. I would take one, somebody else would take one, then I would take another one. But since I am playing solo, it didn't really have an explanation of how to do the draft. So I just decided to grab 5 random ones, and I'm just going to select 2 of them. So we have, as a completionist master, I get all the things. You missed it. I back 20 strong. Ooh, 20 strong is getting a lot of stuff, and it looks good. So first thing up here, let me zoom in so that we can all see. So this is Dan Gautama, and his player ability is gain one additional reward of a different type when sending dice to the depository. So basically, whenever I fulfill a contract, if I am whenever I fulfill a contract, I could place a dice here and gain the move a harvester. I can also either gain a dice or gain 2 more contracts. So with Dan, I am wanting to fulfill a lot of contracts. Now I say that contracts are always generally one of the harder things for me, so I don't really want to revolve my whole game around Dan. So we're going to put him off for now. We have Renzo Nolan, who reveals a second event in rounds 1 through 6, and you use your tile to indicate which event you will apply. So I didn't explain this part, but there is these event cards right here, and the events can be either positive or negative. And it's just something that goes over the round. It can be stuff like all of your farms are doubled. It could be all of your farms are halved. It could be in order to fulfill a contract, you have to get rid of something. So it's all just different type of events. So Renzo Nolan here, he lets you choose another one and kind of decide what you want to do. I don't generally play with him. Maybe, we'll see. We have Olcatal, and he places his ship in the leftmost empty garage during setup. So he has a ship, and actually have that ship here to the side. And it looks like his ship is, you get to not pay any algae cost, and it is a -5 discount on waters. That one seems pretty solid, honestly. The only thing is here, it would be placed on this first one, and that's only -1 algae, so you're just not having to pay for 1 algae. Those increase as the dice go on. Now, the cool thing is up here, the special ability for Zakaro is swap the positions of any ship tiles on your research base. So maybe I get a couple more ships, and then I can move it a little bit further down. I kind of like that one. So that is a maybe. We have Troy Sullivan, and all negotiations require 1 fewer gem, 2 fewer energy, and 3 fewer algae. That is solid. Oops, sorry. Trying to work on my camera zooming skills. So he has 1 fewer gem, 2 fewer energy, and 3 fewer algae. Now the good thing about that is I am playing again with a dyad, I think that's what it's called, variant. So I did start with less resources, and this one makes it even more of a discount. So that's kind of nice. That is a very heavy maybe. And then it looks like the final one, and this is pretty funny. You can ask Devin. This is my favorite one. And I try not to play her just because I tend to play with her a lot. This is Naira Soul, and she gets to ignore all algae costs. So you don't ever pay the algae costs at the top. Again, I think her ability is awesome. I've actually never won with her, so maybe it's not that great, or maybe I just don't know how to play with her. I just think it's really cool. But I try not to play with her because I generally always do. So I want to try something new. So we're not going to play with her. And then we're not going to do the 2 events. I actually really like these 2 here. I think that is a good combination of having this guy's ship here, which again is going to negate this cost of algae. And then it's going to make a 5 water discount. And then also this little symbol down here, I don't know if you can see it, it lets me flip my die. So if I have a 6, I can make it a 1. Or if I have a 3, I can make it a 4. but it just gives you some more flexibility on all that. So that's a really good one. And then I'm going to play Troy Sullivan, which lets all negotiations require 1 less gem, 2 fewer energy, and 3 fewer algae. I like that. Okay, and then the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to draft 3 contracts. Let me get some space here. So, first one up here, it costs 5 water and 3 energy. This is a ledger. Basically, it's worth 3 victory points at the end of the game. And anytime I go to the foundry, I believe, I get a contract card. So just a way to build up some contracts. I have the Zakaro Flyer, and it's 2 victory points per Zakaro negotiation. So I'm kind of planning on going to Zakaro anyway, because that allows me to switch my spaceships like we talked about. So that might be a good one to keep. It's worth 4 victory points, 1 gem, 5 water, 3 energy. That one's a possibility. I do kind of like it. We have Larian Armor, which is 5 victory points, and then anytime I negotiate with Larian, I get an extra dice. It's not bad either. 4 water, 5 algae, 2 energy. Hey, Michael. Nice to see you here. Appreciate you always jumping in. And then we have, I don't know how to say this, Uxolotl. Uxolotl. It's got to be. Oh, yeah, it's like an axolotl, except it's a U. It's an Uxolotl. 6 victory points, and it's worth 1 for every 4 algae. Now, I'll say this one. That one's probably going to be hard. I'm probably not going to keep this one because I always feel like resources are tight. And I'm already starting with a low amount of resources. So we're just going to not use Uxolotl. So I think these are going to be the 3 that we're going to keep. I'm going to put this contract to the bottom of the deck here. And then that is our starting hand, it looks like. So we are ready to get started with Circadians First Light. So as you can see here, I've got my little cheat sheet of things that happen. This is awesome. So generally, when you play this game multiplayer, it is hidden information, right? So you put this on your screen when you roll your dice, and then you program them out where you want them, and then once everybody has that, everybody's doing that simultaneously. So when everybody has that, you remove it and show the dice that you want. And then he's also got his thing right here, which shows the first thing you do is plan, right? We're both doing that. Then you execute, harvest, and rest. It just says what he does on his actions. So first thing that we'll do here is we'll plan, and we're going to reveal the top event card. So let's hope for something good. Ooh, it is not good. It is bad. And that's okay. The AI does score for, let's go over what the AI scores for. They get for their negotiation points. So whatever the negotiation points are here. So obviously the more resources they trade, the higher victory points they get. They also score for what is this? Per pips in the depository. So this is the standard AI. The easy one scores for how many dice are in the depository. The medium and the standard, the standard and the hard, I believe, score for how many pips are in the depository. And then I forget what the insane does. But what that means is basically if it has this out here like that somehow, obviously in the right space, that's 8 victory points for it right there because it's got a 3 and a 5. It also scores for the harvester. So on the back of each of these gem caches here, I don't know where you can see this the best. Yeah. So on the back of these, there's victory points, and I want to say it's from like 4 to 8 somewhere in there. Whichever one it's closest to, it's going to get those victory points. And for me to get those victory points, I have to end on one of those spaces by the end of the game. And then finally, it also scores for, it has these victory points here. It gets those, if stuff happens, I'll kind of explain that throughout the game. 1 point per gem, and then 1 point per... Not sure what that symbol is. 1 point per gem and 1 point per... Oh, positive event card, which is what let me down this conversation in the first place. So any positive event cards, it gets 1 victory point. In the insane and I believe hard, it's 2 victory points per positive event card. So that is what we're going to be scoring for them, and then I will just be scoring kind of throughout the game. So the first event here is a brick wall. So I must discard 1 contract card when sending dice to the negotiation board. That's okay. I'm probably not going to negotiate this first round just because I don't have enough resources for it. But that is the event that is happening this round. All right. Next up, we will roll and assign dice to bases. So I have my 3 dice here that I start with, and they don't have to roll anything. Theirs comes out with cards, but I will roll my dice. And I have a 4, a 3, and a 1. So, what can I do here? I'm going to need water for all of my contracts. This one lets me pay 5 less water for contracts, so actually all of those, if I were to put a dice here, I wouldn't have to pay water for. I could, this one right here, if I were to get this lab, which I could do because this first space is plus or minus, so I could put that there and this there and there. I've got 2 4s. This one gives me 3 waters, lets me make 2 trades, or this one is put a 6 die and get 2 die. I also need to definitely move my harvester because I need to move my harvester because that's how you get resources. And you start off with just producing a energy, an algae, and a water, which is not very good. Maybe I can start going, I need to move up that way. So I need a 6 to go northwest. And I have a 1, so I could flip it to do that. And if I put it here, it would only cost me 5 water because I have that discount. Or I could go this way and get an extra dice, so that would be a 1, and I could just leave that there. So I'd get an extra dice and 1 energy. And I was really kind of thinking I only need 3 energy, because then I can get this ledger. Or if I went the algae route, I would then be able to almost get this Larian armor, which is anytime I negotiate with Larian, I would get an extra dice. But I think this is kind of what I'm going to do. I want to do this flyer, because then it's 2 victory points per Zakaro. Okay. So in order to do that, I need an energy. So I think that's a 1. I think I'm going to go this way and get an energy and a die. So I'll leave that there. It is going to cost me 2 algae. So I'll put that there to remind myself to pay it. And then for these 2, it'd be nice to get a mine, or I'm sorry, a gem, because then I could definitely just fulfill this one next round. So let's see, if I put this 4 here, that would give me a 5. Then I would have to pay 1 water, or yeah, 1 water to get a gem. Then what could I do with my 3? So let's see, that's going to cost me 5 here. Ooh, and then I have no water if I go here. So that's a little bit rough. Maybe I... Maybe I use these 2 dice to get this lab, which would allow me to just produce 3 waters at the end of every round. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. And I think this looks okay. Oh, man, but I do need algae. I really do need algae. Because if I spend these 2 now, I don't have any for my next round. So you know what? Maybe instead of going for that 1, I go for a 5 this way. But then how do I do that with these? Oh man, this is tricky. So this is the meat of the game, right? Like this is the whole part of the game that makes it interesting. If I can get this farm, so let's see, that would be a 3 and a 3. 2 would move me this way, which is more water. That's tons of water. Then I wouldn't need this one immediately. And these do clear at the end of every round. Or not all of them, but one of them clears. If I flip this, that's a 4. Doesn't really help. I need a 5. So if I made this a 5, that could move over. Then I'm stuck with a 3 and a 1. What am I doing with a 3 and a 1? Well, maybe I produce with my 3. Save my algae. And this could be a 6. So if I move 5 and then 6, I like that. I can move my harvester twice. And then I'll be getting a bunch of resources this round. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do a resource round. Now, before I move on, I have to start a BG apps because I always forget. And I'm going to do that now. So, looks like my highest score in this game is 69. So, let's hope to beat 69 this time. All right, so that's what I'm doing. That is where my stuff is. I'm not moving any more. I don't think. Yeah, that's it. That's what we're saying. Okay, so now that was the plan phase for me. And their plan phase, they don't do anything. So now they will go first because, again, there are no dice in the right up there in the headquarters. I should be here. And now they will execute. So they're going to play 2 scheme cards. So the first one looks like this, and it's got a 1, and then it's got 3 actions. So the first scheme card, the pip number, is they're going to move their harvester, and they're going to move it until they hit a gem or the edge of a board. So how they're going to do this is 1 moves northeast, and so they're going to move northeast. And you can't really see it that well on any of these, so we're just going to go there. They're going to move northeast until they hit a gem. So here, and they've got a gem. Okay. And then the next thing that they're going to do is they're going to go down the list here. So they're going to see if they can trade with Zakaro. Now, the only resource that they ever collect is gems, but they can trade with Zakaro and Larian as well. They just act as it's this cost. So all of their negotiations for the first row are 2 gems. So he's only got 1 gem. He cannot negotiate with Zakaro for 2 gems, which is good for me. So then they're going to move down to the second action on the card here. And the second action is do a market and they will gain 1 gem. So they're going to take this die here. They're going to make it a 1. They're going to go on the leftmost spot and just put a mark it there, and then they're going to gain a gem. That's their turn. That is it. Ken, I think the heaviest game I ever played, understood, is Flamecraft, and it's not a... I would consider Flamecraft a Euro game. You're right, it's not a very... I take that back. Flamecraft can have some strategy in it. It's definitely not my favorite Euro game, but there is some to Flamecraft. I understand why people enjoy it. I personally don't. So that is their first move. Now their second one, they're going to get another scheme card, and it is a dice value of 3. And the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to try to negotiate with Drayek, and they can. So they will always go for the highest negotiation on there, and so the one that they can afford. So they have 2 gems, so they're going to pay these 2 gems here, and those will go away, and they're going to place a 3 right there, and they have claimed 5 victory points. Now they're also the first person to put out a 3 pip die, so they will get this advancement token, and that will go there. Now, like I mentioned, there is some abilities that you get for negotiating. The AI doesn't get any of those, so we're just going to go ahead and ignore those. And that's it. And that's the AI's turn. They did 2 player cards. They moved their harvester, they did an action, and then they placed a die, and they got something for it. And now it is on to me. And thankfully, they did not block anything that we had wanted. Ooh. I just realized I messed up big. Ooh, I can't move my harvester twice. I don't have enough water to move my harvester twice. I do have energy, though, so I can do that. And I am going to gain energy at the end of this round. Okay, I think we're still going to stick to the plan. Yeah, we're definitely still going to stick to the plan. So this die here, it costs nothing to send out. We're going to make it a 5 because I can plus or minus it. And we're going to put it here at the control room. And it's going to cost me 2 energy to send that one out. So there goes 2 energy. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but there are different sizes of the resources here. There's a big one. That one is worth 5, and then there's a small one. That one's worth 1. So I paid my 2 energy to go there, so then my harvester is going to move this way. Okay. And then I'm going to play this die, and I don't have to pay my algae cost. It's going to cost me 5 less water, and I can flip it. So I'm actually going to flip it to a 6. I'm going to pay my 5 water here. And then we're going to send it out to the control room. And then I'm going to move northwest. So there we are. I've kind of staked my claim to what kind of game I'm going to be playing now. I'm going to be collecting lightning and algae. And I'm okay with that. We're going to see how it goes. And that's it for my execute actions. Because now we're going to harvest. And so when we harvest, we look at our farms. So I have a dice on, oops, I'll show you guys the screen in a second. I have my dice on the water or lightning. And I'm going to go ahead and get water. Yep, I'm for sure going to get water. And that's going to give me 5 water. So I get that water back from the control room. And then I'm going to harvest from my harvester, which is right there. And inside of it, there is 3 energy and 2 algae. So I'll go ahead and get 3 energy here. 1, 2 and 3, and then 2 algae. And that is my harvest action. Okay, so then we will go to the AI here, and for their harvest, they return dice. So, oh, and I'm sorry, I'm supposed to get my dice back as well. So I've got my 3 dice back. They get this dice back. They do not get back the one that was from the negotiation, so they're down 1 dice. And then they get to gain gems. So at the top of these dice, you'll see either dice or gems. So whatever the highest die is at, that's the resource that they're going to gather. So this one is here, and they're going to gain 1 gem for the start of the next round. And then we will rest. So gain dice, he doesn't gain any because it's not like that. Destroy 1 farm, so we destroy the highest farm, and if all the farms are the same height, we just take the leftmost one away, which is terrible because that's kind of the one that I wanted. That is also okay. And then we destroy 1 ship or 1 garage, and it's going to be this one, which would have added 2 and given you a victory point. So the one that's available now is you can claim either algae or lightning energy, 2 victory points, and this ship is another -5 water discount. And I think that's it for me. Let me look at my thing here. Rest, return dice from all station boards, pass the radio clockwise, and that is it. We're not playing with the radio because that's the first player marker, and we are on to round 2. Not bad. See? Easy. Easy game. Okay. So here we are. We're going to start off with our planning phase. So the first thing to do is to remove this, what's it called, event. And we're going to get a positive event. So this is extra growth. All farms double their effectiveness. Nice. Good way to kind of get some resources, although I only have 3 dice. I forgot Champions of Midgard. Ooh, Champions of Midgard is a great game. Absolutely love that one. And if you haven't played with the expansions, highly recommend playing with the expansions. That is a great game. Another dice worker placement game, I believe. So, good choice in gaming there, Ken. All right, so then we'll roll our dice. 1, 3, 5. Not good. Now, our farms do produce double, so I might want to put this 5 here, because that will get me 4 energy, and then I'll be sitting at 7 energy. I also might want to get a garage. And I think, is there dice values? I can't see them. Yeah, so this is 1 and 2, this one's 3 and 4, this is 5 and 6. So I do want one of the water ones. So I might just go there. And then for this one, for my 3, well, I don't want to move my harvester back to where I was. I can't do a lab, but maybe I'll go to the academy. Yeah, I'm going to go to the academy and get some more dice. Or do I go to the depository and I can actually fulfill my Lyrian armor. Then I could move my harvester. What does this one do? 5 and 2. Or I could get an extra dice that way. I'm going to lose a dice this round if I do that, but then I'll gain 2. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'll place this one. Oh, no. Yeah, that's there. Okay, think that's my plan. So I will get this. I will get extra dice. Oh, but then I don't have enough to do my contract. Maybe I'll just get extra dice. Next round I do some stuff. I think that's what we'll do. Okay. I am all planned out. Ooh. I could fulfill that contract. Because it cost me 2 less energy. I forgot about that. I thought it was 1 less energy, but it's 2. Ooh, and how much less algae? It's 2 less algae as well. Interesting. What if I don't gain resources this round? I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go up there. Now, is this 1, 2, 3? Oh, it doesn't matter because this one is 3 also. Do I not do my farms? Oh man, this is a tricky one. I was watching some of the first D&D, kind of missed the table counter. That's really funny that you were just that you mentioned that. We were talking about that the other day. I will tell you that counter height was not the most comfortable for playing games. Definitely had its own little vibe to it, though. But if you watch the very first videos, those were my kitchen and Devin's kitchen, I believe. Maybe not his kitchen. No, he was like in his like living room or something. But all those were BGA. So we appreciate you being a long-time watcher. Long-time watcher, first-time caller, whatever it is. Okay, I think I'm going to do 2 negotiations. I think. Let's see, I have 4. I can't do 2 negotiations. I can only do 1 negotiation. Oh yeah, because he took this one that lets you harvest it. I would have been able to, but he took that one. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, no, I can do this. I can do this, I think. I could get a farm. No, I could get a rocket from my advancement. And then I could actually do the action, which lets me switch them. And then I can do it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go here. And I need a 5, a 1. What was I doing with this one? So now I forgot what I'm doing. Oh no. Okay, so this one I'm negotiating. This one I'm negotiating. This one I am getting more dice. Yes. Negotiating dice. Okay. All right. Let's hope he doesn't block me. These get cleared off. This first one comes out. So he has a 4. And that's going to move his harvester in the southwest direction. So he's going to come all the way to there and collect that gem. And then he's actually going to try to negotiate with Jarek, but he already has the 2-gem Jarek, so he can't do that one. So his next action is he's going to go to the lab, and he's actually going to get one of his special tiles. So this 4 is going to go here. And he's going to get this first special tile. So let me zoom in here and you guys can see what that looks like. So this tile, it's going to give him 1 extra gem at the beginning of every round or at the end of every round, however you want to think about it, and 2 victory points at the end of the game. So not the best thing for me, but also didn't block what I needed. And then for his second action, he's going to have another number 4 die. And the first thing he's going to do is try to... Oh, well, he did just hurt me. That is what I wanted to do. He's going to negotiate with Zakaro. And if you guys remember what I said, he uses this price for all of the Zakaro ones. So he just has to pay 2 gems, and he can. So those 2 gems go away. And it's going there. That is terrible. That really kind of hurts me. That hurts me big time. Okay. I don't like. So what am I doing now? What am I doing now? Oh, and then he takes this 4 and he gets the farm. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. So I have to change my plan. I can still do one thing. So I'm still going to take this 1. And I'm going to trade with this one up here. And I only have to pay 4 algae. No, that does mess me up. How was I going to do this? Let's see, I was watching some of the fur. Yep, Uncle Paul, you're sideways. I'm sideways. Ooh, how did that happen? Interesting. 1 second. And we're back. Okay. I should be normal now. Appreciate that, Ken. Man, this really, really kind of hurt me because my plan, excuse me, my plan was to go to Zakaro first. And then when I would go to Zakaro for that first one, I was then going to gain a rocket and place it on my board. And then I was going to swap them. So then I wouldn't have to pay my 2 algae. And then I would be able to do that one. But since he took this one, I can't do that now. So that really kind of hurt me. So have to completely change my plan on what I'm doing now. So, what can I do with a 2? What can I do with a 2? Man, maybe I just do go to the depository. And I do this one. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll go to the depository. We're going to move up my harvester to here. Got a good amount of water now. Okay, and then maybe I do some trading. So maybe I go here to my market. Oh, let me clear this stuff here. So I'm going to do the oh man, that really tripped me up. I'm going to do my ledger. Okay, I'm sorry. That, like, what he did completely messed me up. And move this back. Let me really think about what I'm doing here. These 3 waters go back up here. Okay. This one, I can do a trade of watered algae. So I could go here. And I can trade 3 water and get 1. Ooh, but then I'm completely out of dice. I guess I could get a benefit of a dice. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do a trade. We're going to trade 3 water for a power, or for an energy, with that die there. Now with my second one, I'm actually going to make this, I'm going to leave this one. What am I doing with my 3? I'm going to get workers. So I'm doing this just a little bit different. And I'm going to spend 5 less. So I'm actually going to spend 5. And I'm going to get 2 dice that I get to use next round. And then for my last one, I'm going to spend 2 algae to send this one out. And it's a 5. And we're going to send it to... Oh, man. It's going to be more than 8, so it's not... I guess I'll get a benefit and something bad. Okay. Maybe I'll give up contracts. All right, that's okay. So we're going to spend 4 here. And those 4 go in there. Oops. Yeah, because I'm doing the number 6. So this will go there. And I'm the first person to put a 5. So what I could do here is I can just get something and then lose it because I'm going to be taking this negative as well. So maybe I... 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I take the die and then lose a die. I think that's probably what I'll do. Because I'm going to have to lose something either way. So here, for the harvester, if I lose the harvester, it goes back 1 space towards the center. I don't want that. Ooh. Let me do something here with my other camera. You can see my little glare blocker there. Okay. I think I just gain a die and lose a die. I mean, it is what it is. That's fine. Okay. That is my turn. Not my favorite turn, but a turn. Okay. So it did, what did it do? It just went to the lab and to the negotiations. All right, so now we're going to harvest. So return his dice. And so as you can see now, he has 2. And on top of this one, it's gain another die. So he's going to gain another die. He does gain a gem. Oh, I'm sorry. That doesn't happen yet. He gains a gem. He's not on top of this one, so he doesn't gain a gem there. And then he rests, which he'll gain this dice. He destroys a farm, the next highest one up. And then he destroys 1 ship. So that next one is 1 less lightning. Okay, and then for me, I will return my dice. I will harvest, which up there is 3. I definitely should have gone to a farm. I screwed up that round. He frazzled me. Which is not a good thing. And then it looks like 2 algae. 2 algae. Okay. Okay. So I've got 4 dice. And we're starting round 3. There's only 7 rounds in this game. So starting round 3. That goes away. These clear off. And here we go. So the next event that we're going to be getting here. It's another good one. This is new tech. Contract cards may be discarded to change your dice to any value. 1 card per die. So I could discard one of these to change my dice value. Alright, I'm going to roll. 2 6s and 2 1s. I'm not going to look what's underneath there. I just wanted it to be right. 2 6s and 2 1s. I want that 6 to move my harvester. Oops. I don't really want this rocket for a 6. I've got 4 algae. I should do some type of contract. Don't have enough water for any of my contracts. I need water. I need water. I need everything. Maybe. No, I can't do that. I would need 10. What do I need electricity for? Okay, maybe I go to the headquarters. That would get me 5 waters. It would guarantee me going first next round. And then I'm at 7 waters. And then this one allows me to move that harvester. And then that gets me 3 waters. And then what do I do with my 1s? Do I should probably harvest, but 1s are terrible for harvesting. So maybe this 6 goes here and this 1 goes here because I can make that a 6. And then this 1. This is going to cost me all my algae to do this. If I do this, what do I do with that 1? Okay, so this costs 2. This would cost 2. That's all of my algae. This one gets me 5. Plus 2, that's 7. So then I can play 5 here, and then I've got 2. Then that moves me there, and then that gives me 5. So then I've got 5 more. What do I do with my 1? Do I get this one? I think I'll get this one. I'm doing really bad fulfilling contracts. I'm doing really bad. We can just stop there. I'm doing real bad. Oh, man. Okay. I think this is what we're doing. All right, so it's their turn. They got a 6. And so they will move northwest. So they will go here, here, up to here. They will gain a gem. And they will clear this water. And then they are going to go to the depository with a 6. And they're going to put it on the topmost space. And they will lose a gem. So they just got 6 points there. Terrible. Okay. For their second action, it's a 2-value die. And they cannot negotiate with Larian. They don't have enough gems for that. So they will go to the market with a 2, and they will gain 2 gems. Okay, that's their turn. My first turn. I'm going to go with my 6 to the depository. To the headquarters. That's going to guarantee me going first the next round. Plus, it gives me 5 waters. Okay, and then with my next dice, I'm going to make this a 6 because I can flip it. It doesn't cost me any algae. And it's 5 less water. And that's going to go here. So it only costs me 5 water. And then I'm going to move up to here. Okay. And then with this 6, what was I doing? I can get a gem. That's 11. What was I going to do with that 6? I think I was going to get... What was I doing with that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I get another dice. Or did I want to move again? I did not want to move again. I think I'm going to get another dice. So, this 6 will go there. I'll pay my 2 algae. And then I'll pay my energy. Then I'll gain a dice. And then for my 1 here, I was going to... What was I going to do with that 1? Do I want more water? 1. I was thinking about possibly doing the harvester. Oh no, This one allows me to get 5 less. So that's what I was going to do. I'm going to play this one here. It costs me 2 algae. And then it costs me 2 electricity. And then this one will go right there. Okay. That's it. Don't have a lot of stuff. But I've got what I've got. Okay. So now we will harvest. So return all dice for him. So he only gets 1 dice returned again, which is nice. Then he gains gems, so he's going to gain 1 gem. He's sitting at 4 gems. Then for my harvest, I did not do anything there. These come back. And this one comes back. And I actually have one up there. It doesn't come back, but I get to go first next round. And then I get to harvest, and I'm getting 5 lightning. And 2 algae. 2 algae. Which isn't that great. Might have to train or something. And then rest. So this one will gain a die. Destroys a farm, the highest one, and the highest ship. Okay. And then we start over. So now this one goes away. And we're starting round 4. It's another good one. This is spare parts. 1 contract card may be discarded in place of spending 4 water or 2 algae. That's a good one because I'm going to need algae this round. Okay. So now I plan. Let's roll some dice here. 3, 3, 4, 5. All those numbers have been placed up there. I could do this one and get a 6. Oh, that's a 6. That's my first one that I'm using. I'm using a 6 first. So, is there any way for me to get more? I need 1 more energy. I need 1 more energy. So, how can I get an energy? I can trade 3 waters for it. That would get it to me. Do I need waters for anything else? 3 and 10. Could always go to the depository again. It's 2 fewer energy. So if I went to my market first, I need to get some farm stuff here. So I need to get some algae. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to harvest this round. It's probably a good idea. This would be nice to get if I could do that somehow. What do I need to do that? A 5 or a 6? If that went there, I could pay those 5 and those 2. Those 5 and those 2. This one needs to go to the market. This one would be trading. And then I'm stuck with like 0 resources. I think we're going to try it. Oh, where does a 6 go? I forgot about that 6. Just get a gem. Or that one can go here. Could also be a 1. Okay, I think I have a plan. Let's see. These go away. That is my plan. It's going to draw a card. It's going to go 6, which is in the direction that it cannot go. So it's going to stay there. And then it's going to trade. Oh, man. I just did it again. It just. Oh, man. Took my entire plan. This is terrible for me. Okay. Well, it's going to trade 4 with Zakaro. So there's its 4. And it's going to place out a 6 die here. That is super, super annoying. And it's going to take this one. And it's going to go on the first one. And then it's going to take this 6 and it's going to go there. Oh, hold on. It's definitely my turn first. It is my turn first. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't change what I'm going to do. I wish it could change what I was going to do. Man. This really stinks. Not having a good game. Four water and 2 algae. May be done multiple times. So what if I got rid of 1, 2, 3 cards? That would give me 6 algae, 8 algae. 4, 5, 6. Could do that one. Okay. That's what we're going to do. We're going to play this one. And we're going to go here with a 1. Because I can flip it. Hold on, what was I doing? Yep. We're going to go to this one. I'm going to get rid of 2 cards. Let's get rid of this one and this one. And I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this Zakaro one. So we'll get rid of these 2. And that's going to give me 4 algae. And then I'm going to pay 6 algae because my thing is 3 fewer algae. And I'll go ahead and get that one. And then it lets me set my die to any value that I want. I'm going to set this one to a 6. I'm going to set my farm to a 6. And then, since I played a 1, I get to harvest. I think it actually took that one. This is the one that should have been. Yeah, so actually that works. I'm going to take this one, and I'll grab this, and it will go right there. Now I do have to pay for this one. Okay, so now it's its turn. It's going to do a 6, and it's going to trade here. And it did move its harvester. I didn't move that one back. And then for its second action, we're going to pull this down. And it's another 6. It cannot... yeah, so Ken, with this, it's set in space, and so like there's the different factions, right? So they have the Larian, and so they have the Larian, the Zakaro, and the Jayrik, and those resources just kind of go with them. So the Larian, they live in the swamps. The Zakaros, I don't know their whole thing, but then Jayrik, they're in the mining camps, kind of thing. So thematically, you're giving them what they need for their area. So, hey Blunder, good to see you here. You'd be rich, yeah. Michael, welcome back. You are good. No need to apologize. I'm having a terrible game, so no need to apologize for that. So for its second action, it has a 6. It cannot trade with Larian because it has no more gems because it literally just traded. So it's going to put this 6 on the Academy. And it's going to gain 2 dice. And I believe those come into play. Well, it doesn't matter. They'll go in there now. Ken, I just saw hi BB, and that's super funny because I call my wife BB. No real reason. It's just something silly. So I was like, "Who are you calling baby?" But it's Blunderbutt, right? He's ours. So okay, that is their turn. So now we'll go back to me, and I have my 3. So with my 3. I was going to do some trading, but I don't really want to trade anymore because it took what I was going to do with my lightning. In a way, I kind of want to move here, but if I do that, I want to do that with this dice. I think I want to go first again next round. So we're going to go there, and that's going to cost me 5. Here, 3. Yeah, I don't want to move that way. I could get a 4, and that would let me move down. So that would give me, I think I want to do that. So this 3, I'm going to make a 4 because of my thing. I don't pay the algae. And I'm going to pay 2, no, I'm going to pay 5 water. And this is going to go this way. Oh man, I cannot do that. We're going to come back. That was a 3. I can't do that because then I have no algae to pay for this one. So with this 3, I'm going to go here and I'm going to make a trade. And I can do up to 3 trades. So I will trade 1 lightning for 2 algae. So I'll have 4 lightning, 1 2, 3, 4. It's funny in Britain they pronounce so actually that's super funny that you mentioned that, Michael. And first of all, are you in Britain? Are you in the UK? Well, are you in Britain? It's funny you say that because just as a little refresher, I was watching Slicker Drips, and he kept saying algae and gayrage, and I thought that was super funny. And I've been thinking about that the whole time I've been playing. That I should just say algae, but then other people wouldn't know what I'm doing. So, little side note there. But okay, so I have I traded 1 lightning for 2 algae. And now I have my 5, which is not the direction I wanted to move with this one. And I can't change it, so that's okay. I wanted a 4. Man, I am doing so bad. 5. What can I get over here? This would cost 1 less lightning. I don't have that many dice. Do I fulfill this contract? I can't because I don't have enough algae. No, I'm here in the US. Okay, friends from the UK. Yeah, yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. Like I said, I've been thinking about that a lot of the game. You know what? Let's go ahead and get a gem. So this will go here. I'm gonna get 2 gems. So 5 less water. I'm gonna go to 16. So that's 5, 10, and then minus or 5, 10, and then 15 and 16. So that's what I'm gonna do. And that's going to pay for, or that's going to get me 2 gems. Okay. Oh, and I have to pay my 2 algae for that. Okay. That is my turn. I tease them about the, the colors. It's like all the OU spelling, and Canada has the same. Oh. Sorry, I just realized you guys probably didn't see anything that I did there. That's the problem with the zooming of the screens and stuff. I think it looks cool, but I just forget. All right, so on my turn, I traded with Lyrian. I went to the market, traded a lightning for algae. And then I went to headquarters. Obviously, got 5 more water. And then I went to the mining camp. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, then I went to the mining camp and I got 2 gems. And that's it. So now we harvest. So he gets his dice returned. He's going to be getting 3 gems. So, also interesting that you say that, Ken, because I never know which one is which. I know one of them's mainly a name and one of them is a color, and I never can figure out which is which. So I just constantly spell them both ways. And then they gain gems, so they're going to gain 3 gems. Terrible. They better not. Well, I'm going to do my first action as a trade with Jarek, so it's going to be okay. And then they rest, they gain their dice, they don't gain any, but they destroy this highest one, and they destroy this one. Look at this. This is a +1 lightning. Okay, now for me, I'll go ahead and do my harvest. So I'm going to harvest that's 2 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm getting 5 up there, so I don't need that. I need water. So I'm going to get 8 water. 3, 10. I'll put 2 back. Okay. I get my up there, which is 5 lightning and 2 algae. Ooh. Why do I keep forgetting about algae? Oh, actually, I only ever need 2 algae, so that's okay. Yeah, I only need 2 algae. And I think I can make 2 negotiations this round. So this one comes back, this one comes back, this one, and then I have my first one. So I will do my plan phase here. A 1, a 3, and a 5. I probably should get more dice this round as well. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next phase. So right here we have a -1, And this is a water tax. Headquarters does not reward water or contracts. So probably not the best to go there. Oh, I was wondering maybe you would like stream a solo of Flamecraft since you guys have it. So we actually do not own Flamecraft. Flamecraft we borrowed from Joe for Board Games for Two. It was a game that Devin and I did not enjoy. So we will not be soloing that one. Okay. Sorry, I got ice in my mouth. Let's see. You know, I don't know if I ever gained my... Oh, I haven't completed this contract. I haven't completed any contracts. I'm having a terrible game. Is this game an example of... I think that says economy. An econ game. I don't own any and never really played one. Curious. You know, off the top of my head, I'm not 100% exactly what an economy game is. I would say this is definitely a resource management game, more than economy. I think with economy is more of like a fluctuating kind of market where you're making some stuff worth more by like cars that you play and stuff like that. I think maybe Michael could help me out with this. I don't think this would necessarily be an economical game or an economy-based game. So that's just kind of from what I'm thinking. This 6 should be taken. Let's see. There's a 1, there's a 3, there's a 5, there's a 4, there should be a 6 taken. Yeah, it's kind of really confusing, especially when the stores get too many. It's just a candy. Yeah, this is definitely what I would say a resource management game for sure. Okay, where was I? Planning phase. Oh, all right. So that's a 3. It will be a 4. I'm going to play that 4 on Jarek up there. Scroll out, play that 4 up there because I do get to go first, and it will definitely try to get that one. So I'm going to do that first. Then for my second action, I'm going to move my harvester down. And then for my last action, I'm going to get 2 dice. Or I will trade again. I really need dice. Because I would only get 2 back. How many rounds are left? 1, 2, 3. I need dice. Yeah, so I will not trade twice this round. I will trade on the next one. So, all right, first up is going to be me. I will play this 3 as a 4. And I'm going to go to Jarek. And I will spend 2 gems because it's 1 fewer gem for me. And then I get to reveal any 1 gem cache not occupied by a harvester. So I didn't explain this part, but at the end of the game, I might have explained it. There are victory points at the end of or below these caches. So I'm going to do this one. And it looks like that is the 6 pointer. So that's pretty good. The highest one is 8. So 6 isn't bad. That's the one that I'm closest to, obviously. So that's okay. I'm okay with staying in that general area. All right, and then now it is its turn. So it will play a card, and it's going to do a 3, and it's going to go to the depository, and then it's going to lose a gem. And then for its next action, oops, it's going to be a 2. It's going to try to trade with Jarek. It cannot. It's going to go to the market. And come on. And it's going to gain 2. So it definitely is going to be probably trading with Jarek. W setup. Hey, thank you, Ronan. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll just leave it at that. It's something that I've constantly worked on. So I'm glad this one looks pretty good. Okay. This one. What was I doing with this one? 5. What was I doing with my 5? This one was going to my harvester. This 5 was going to... What was my 5 doing? Was I going to get another gem? If I get another ship here, I get to max out my ship victory points, which would be 8. Was I gonna trade? I think that's probably what I was gonna do. I would have to give something up. What was I gonna do with my 5? Was I gonna get a gem? It's technically a 6. I think that's what I was gonna do. No, but gems are gems worth it right now? It's technically a 6. Okay, so this is what I can do. I am going to negotiate with it. We're going to go here. And that cost me, that's 10 lightning, but it's 2 less, so it cost me 8. So there is 8. Let me just kind of, oops. This one. So I went there, cost me 8. And then I get to swap the position of any ship tiles on my research base. So on my research base down here, I'm going to swap these 2. Or actually, yeah, that's what I want to do. I can swap these 2. Yeah, we'll swap those 2. Okay. And then with this one, I was going to go to the... Oh, I'm sorry. And then that busted more than 10, so that one's going to go... I have to give up something. Goes there. I don't really want to give up anything. So it's either 2 contracts, a gem, a harvester back towards the center, a ship, or a farm. I don't have a farm, I don't have a gem, I don't have 2 contracts, so it has to be a harvester or a ship, and I don't want to give up a ship, so I'm going to give up this harvester, and it's just 1 move towards the center, so that will go there. Okay. So, with my 3 now, it's also a 4. I was thinking I'd go to the control room, but I don't really want to do that now because that's moving further away from that 6. But it also gets me more algae, which I do need algae. So you know what, maybe that is a good play. So we're going to go there, and it's going to cost me 5 water, and this will move there. Yep. Oh, I did not want to switch those 2. I'm going to not switch those 2. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not switching those 2. So that does cost me 2 algae to do that last move that I did. No, that algae was free. This one's going to cost me 2 algae. And we're going to go here to the academy. And at the academy with my 1, I'm going to pay 5 water. So there's my 5 water. And I'll gain 2 dice. Yep. That was it. Okay, I think we're doing okay. I think. Not 100% sure. It's getting a little bit better. Let's go ahead and go back here. And we are now on round 6. 6 of 7. Okay, so let's finish the round here. So they will return their dice. They have 1. They will gain gems, so they have 2. They're sitting at 6 gems. Don't like that. Rest, they gain, and they destroy. So they gain dice, they don't, and then they destroy a farm and a ship. Okay. Now it's to me. I harvest. I get 2 lightning, 2 energy, and 4 algae. And 4 algae. Oh, come on, algae. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then I get my dice back. And then we plan. Okay. So 2, 3, 1, 5. 2, 3, 1, 5. 2, 3, 1, 5. Okay. What am I going to do? So for resources, I don't have water. Oh, and then the event. Setbacks may be avoided by discarding a contract card. Do I just not fill any contract cards? That doesn't seem like a good plan. I've gone this far without doing it, so... Okay, so I think... a 2 is the only one that has not been negotiated with. And maybe I want to do that at the beginning of next round. So I think this one is going to go up to headquarters. Give me some water. I think I want to move down. Oh, maybe I want to go to Jirik. That would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not enough. Trying to get some algae. Because if I can get one of these, that would be pretty sweet. I need 12 algae to get this big one. And I'm sitting at 4. I'm going to spend 2 this round. So I'd need to get 10 somehow. And I could move to here possibly. Or I could trade 1, 2, 3. That would give me 6. Oh, that's a ton of algae. That'll give me 8. Do I need lightning for anything? I don't think I need lightning for anything. Maybe I get a farm? Nope, I can't do a farm. This one gives me 2 victory points at the end of the game. So, like, I could get a farm. Alright, this would be a 2. But it needs to be able to flip. That's what I wanted, the 2 there. Oh, so it could be a 5 also. And then, no, that doesn't work. I think I want to trade. Let's see, if I traded 2 energy, that would get me 4. That would get me to 6. I said I need 12. What if I traded 1? That would get me 4. I need 12. I need 10 somehow. 8. 10, 11, 12. I think that's okay. Alright, so this one will go there. This one... Oh, that's 5 less. Oh, that doesn't help me. 7. I need to move my harvester. Oh, but that's 5. That's there. Okay, so I'll move my harvester with that. Maybe I... get an extra die. And then with my last 5... I get a gem. Gems are worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do. Alright, so now it is its turn. It's going to play a 5. It's going to trade with Lyrian. And it's going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, of course, the thing that I wanted to do next round, it just did. That's okay. So that is a 5. It does do this one, and it blocks that one. Oh, and then 5, it moves to this side. Okay. And then for its second action, it is going to play another 5, and it's going to go into the foundry. And it's going to lose a gem. So right there, in the foundry alone, he has 14 points. Don't like. Okay, well, I do need less algae now. Yeah, I think this is okay. All right, so for with my 2, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to headquarters, and that's going to gain me 5 water. Okay. With my second die here, I'm going to make this a 4. We're going to go here and we're going to pay 5 water. And we're moving this way. I'm hoping this one is better than a 6. It could be worse. But I like the resources there. And then they all flip over at the start of the next round, so we'll see. That cost me no algae. This one, what was I doing with my 1? Was I going to do a trade? No. This one cost me 2. I mean, I could just get a gem. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a gem. Ooh, but then I block the other one. Nope. I was going to... Okay. Hold on, let's not get a gem yet. So I can get a garage, maybe? Let's get a garage. I know I was saying trade, but I don't need a trade anymore because of my harvester. So I'm going to get a garage. Just to fill this all out. That's going to cost me 2 energy. And then with the last one with my 5, this one cost me... Oh, and that's the payment for this one. This one, my 5... Oh, I was going to get a gem with this 5. That's my gem. Okay. Second to last round, we got 1 more. And then that's game end. Man, I've really done no contracts. This is terrible. This is so bad. Okay. Harvest. Return dice. He has no dice to return. Gain gems, so he gains 1 gem. Gains dice, so he does gain 2 dice. Destroys a farm, a ship. Okay. Then my turn, I get to harvest. I don't have anything to harvest from my board. And then up there it's 2 energy and 8 algae. There's 3, 4. Oh wait, so I'm sorry. That's 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I'm sitting at 5. I'm sitting at 10 algae, which is exactly what I need for that one. So I'm going to have to do some type of trade. I'll get my dice back here. This one will go away. And the final one here just says, end of an era, reveal all hidden gem caches. Let me roll my dice first. 5, 4, 5. Then we're going to reveal all these hidden gem caches. I'm going to mute this because I'm going to be hitting it. Okay, so the one that I'm closest to is a 6. The one that it is closest to, it's equidistant actually to 7 and 8, which is kind of unfortunate. So it's going to go to the higher ranked one there. So hopefully it moves this way. Okay. Oh, it should have. It did gain a gem. It did gain a gem. Okay, 5, 4, 5. So first thing I'm going to do with my 2 is I am going to go up there and do Larian. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, actually only 9. Because it's 3 less. And then I do need to get more of this. And I need to do it with a 5. And that will give me another gem. And then I need to move down. So with this one, I'm going to move. And then with this 5, I need to go to Jarek. But I need an extra algae. So let's see. So that 2 goes up here. And it gives me what am I going to do for my algae? I know I can do 2 trades. Negotiate, trade, move, negotiate. I think that's what we're doing. Okay. So negotiate, trade, negotiate. No, negotiate, move. I don't have enough stuff to move. No, this is for moving. This is for trading. Negotiate, trade, move, negotiate. Okay. Its turn. Is going to play a 4 at the depository. It's going to lose a gem. And 4 is going to move this way. Oh, man. So it's definitely, it's going to the 8. We kind of knew that. And then for its second move, it's going to go to the depository again with another 4. That's going to lose a gem. 8 points there. Final round for him. big round. Okay. And then from my last turn, oh, I'm sorry, I should have gone first, but it doesn't really matter. This one is going to go here. And it's going to cost me 9. So there's my 9 algae. I do get to make my dye value anything that I want. It doesn't really matter what I have. So, but it is a 2, and that 2 is going to get me this gem here. Oh, that's what I needed to do. I remember now. I needed a gem there. Yeah. So maybe... No. Stinks. I cannot negotiate twice. Oh, and I'm going to have all the stuff I need to do. No, I'm not going to have everything. So what if this one moved? Don't have enough. I don't have enough. Alright, well, that is what it is. I think I can negotiate on Lyrian again, though. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think. No, I cannot negotiate on Lyrian again. Okay, well, this 5, we're going to trade here. We're going to trade 1 water for, or I'm sorry, 1 energy for 3 waters. So that goes there. I'm just going to finish out my moves. Whatever happens, happens here. For this 4, we're going to go there. We're going to pay 2 energy. Okay, hold on. Actually, we can maybe do this. Traded 1 energy for 3 water. Let's see what can actually happen here. So if I put this 5 here, I can do 3 trades. Or, I'm sorry, 5 trades. So what if I did 2 algaes? I'm sorry. Waters. Okay, so I'll do 2 of these for 6 water. No, can't do it. 1 of these for 2 algae. Oh yeah, and then this one for 2 algae. Okay. Yep, can't do it. Okay, so we're gonna go back to what we did. It doesn't matter what I have, honestly, because I can't do what I wanted to do. I just need 2 algae. And so this one will go there. I'm going to pay 5 and the no algae cost. This will move to there. And then for my last dice, I will pay 2 algae. I will go here. I'll pay 1 water. and then I'll get a gem. And that's it. That's the end of the game. That was a brain burner. Honestly, probably one of my worst games. I say that, maybe, I don't know. It was not the best. Not the best, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and pull up the Garphill app here and Circadians. Solo. Playing with the standard AI. And let's see. So negotiation board. So points printed next to each die. So for me, I've got 5. I've got 5, 7, so that's 12 there. Plus 17 is 12, plus 17 is 29, plus 7 is 36. 14, 19. Let's see, there's 14, 20, 31, 36, yep. And then for it, it is 10, plus 12 is 22, plus 5 is 27. 5, 17, 27, okay? Fulfilled contracts, I have none. First game I've never fulfilled a contract. If on a gem cache, so I'm on a gem cache 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I believe, let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure at the end of the game it just goes to 1. Let's see, harvester, move it to the nearest gem cache. Yeah. Okay, so it is going to go to 8. 6, 7, 8. Okay. Next, ships and farms. So I have 8 for my ships. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then gems, I have 3. It has 1. Positive event cards, it gets 1 for each positive event. We have more than them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it gets 4 positive events. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1 point per pip in the depository. And so here's where it's going to crush me. That's 10. There's 15. There's 19. There's 22. So that is 8, 11, oh, there's 10, there's 19, 11, 12, I can't count, 10, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22. And I believe that's it. Oh, AI progress tiles. No, it did have another progress tile. And there's our final score. It beat me 64-53. Again, not my best score by far. I don't think, I don't know. That was a rough one. It got me a couple of times with what I wanted to do. It kind of took my my space for Zakaro twice. I was planning on doing that 2 turns in a row, and it sniped it from me. So let's see. I hope we can play Dice Tournament with you guys using Tabletop Simulator. Yeah, I did definitely see that. You guys tagged us in the Free Hawks. I'm sure we can figure something out for that. But yeah, that was the gap of the game. I'm pretty disappointed in it. 53-64. Honestly, I generally don't lose this one to the AI, so I'm a little bit surprised by how much I lost. But what can you do? I just didn't play it right. Did not play the game right. Let's see. I probably should have used my farms a little bit more. No, I think in the solo it's very important to go to the headquarters so that you can have your first turn. And I did not do that enough, I don't think. What was the point difference there? So 11-point difference. I was hoping to possibly get that one. Still wouldn't have been enough. It did get 8 points on the very last turn though, going to the depository twice with 4 pip dies. So that was a little bit rough. But what can you do? That's it. That is the game. Again, I've talked about it before. I generally don't get too butthurt, too upset with losses. This one feels bad. This one does feel kind of bad. But with that being said, Devin and I do plan on streaming this one at some point with the specialist expansion, which adds a couple things on there. So I'm just going to count this as my warm-up play to the game, because we all know that he doesn't need to warm up on games. He can just beat them. So that's okay. That was a good one. I really enjoyed it. I know this one was probably a little bit heavier than the games that I generally solo on the channel, but I just really wanted to play this one. I really, really enjoyed this one, and I hope you kind of got an idea of how the game plays. And Blunder, hopefully this is something that you enjoyed. And what's really good is that stream was 90 minutes. This game, generally when I play solo, it's about an hour or so. Like Devin has mentioned, I think anytime we live stream, it's about 50% longer or so. But anytime I've played this game, 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, it always lands within that 90-minute range, plus or minus just a little bit, because the main... the thing that takes the most time in the game is that planning stage, and that's simultaneous. So you're always going to have to wait on the longest person. But whenever they're done, unless I had a couple turns where it took what I needed and you have to kind of reevaluate your plan. But for the most part, it's just assigning your dice that you pre-programmed out there. So the game is generally not going to take super long to play in that regard. But yeah, that's it. That's kind of all that I have. Like I had mentioned before, let me see if I can pull this up really quickly. Ooh, give me a second. Yeah, like I'd mentioned before, we do have a live stream schedule now. I'm trying to pull it up really quick. Give me 30 seconds. We're getting it. And nope, that's not it. Where'd it go? All right, maybe I can't do it this time. Oh well. But either way, I did post our schedule up on the community tab, so if you don't know where that's at, or if you haven't seen that on YouTube, there's a little community tab, and we posted our schedule. And so that's all the upcoming live streams that we have going on. Devin will be back next Wednesday with a Lockup. It is a role player game, so it's in the same universe of like Cartographers, Stone Spine Architects, Role Player, all those kind of games. It's a worker placement game. And then I'm actually coming up on Monday with a kind of new series that we have going on. It's all about Board Game Arena. So I've been playing a lot of Board Game Arena lately, and I'm just going to kind of chat about the new games that are on there, kind of stuff that I want to play, and then I'm going to invite some of you guys to play some games with me, to teach me some games on the digital platform. So that's all that we have for now. Thank you guys for coming by and stopping by and watching the stream. It's always a pleasure, as Ken said. I really do appreciate it. Tomorrow, Devin and I are going to be at a convention. We're going to be selling a bunch of games, hopefully playing a bunch of games. We've already got arcs lined up. So that one should be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for it. We generally like Whirly's designs. This one is a little bit more head-to-head than probably what we're used to, but we're excited about that. And then next Friday we'll do a month in review because that was supposed to be today, but we'll talk about everything that we played in July. So again, as always, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm Paul, half of Dads and Dice. Check out that schedule. It's posted in the community tab. And other than that, you guys have a good night, and I will see y'all on Monday.